Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Tiger and welcome to Nerdcraft SMP Season 6, Episode 4. So after the last episode I did some more building on a live stream and we now have this monstrosity here. This is a really interesting farm and it's very convenient that it's getting night right now, because this up there is actually a resin farm. You see that there is a lot of creaking right now and they just spawned in here. So if I activate the farm, all the creakings will be gathering here in this part. And that's a total of 32 creakings. And if I start whacking them, then the creaking hearts will generate resin. And I have a hopper clock there being connected to a lot of pistons, and the pistons will break the resin that is continuously generating here, and like that I can just whack at the creakings and slowly generate some resin. Actually it's not really that slow, because the rates are about 3 shulker boxes of resin per night if I can manage to whack away at the creakings for the whole night. So that's quite good and I really like the rates, but for now I think I can stop this and just show you a little bit more that also has been going on after the last episode. Because there was actually a mistake that I made in the ending of the last episode. I did a little bit of commentating about how you can build up the kelp farm. And that's actually what it is about, because I made a tiny mistake while I was elaborating about making the kelp farm more lag efficient. So I did mention there that you can use, behind the observers, you can use a solid block and below that a node block, so that it's a little bit more lag efficient and only one piston will be activated at a time, which is technically correct, and that's also a principle that works perfectly for bamboo farms and for sugarcane farms. However, there's a slight problem with kelp farms, because whenever a kelp plant is broken, there is a random value generated between 2 and 25. And that's the height of the new kelp plant, how high it can grow. And the problem here is that it can be 2. Because as you see, in order that the observers fire the pistons, a kelp plant needs to grow up 3 blocks. And it can happen that kelp plants can only grow up to 2 plants. Or up to 2 blocks, sorry. And that's really the problem, because if I then only fire 1 piston below it, then basically one kelp plant can become stuck, because it only grows up to 2 blocks. It never grows the 3rd block, so the observer over there never fires, and right after that it will never again generate more kelp. So that's really the problem, and I had a break of about 1 week in between the episodes, between the ending of the last episode and the recording that I'm doing right now. There was about one week of a break where I just did some smaller stuff, some resource gathering, and also building up the resin farm, of course. And in that time I actually had about half of the kelp plants there being stuck, so that's a whole lot of a problem. It really went faster than I anticipated first, so that was really a problem. I had only 2 of the smelters running anymore, and now I can almost support 6 smelters here. The reason why the 6th one isn't working right now is because the kelp blocks haven't reached that far yet, but technically I might be able to also support the 6th smoker back there, and that's really cool. So that's about the status update that I did, but now the question is, what do we have planned for this episode? So first things first, I want to dig out the hall here. So all the blocks here that are between the two kelp farms, they need to go. I need to dig that out wholly. I also have the beacon set up right now, so it should be fairly quick. So that's one thing. And the second thing that I have planned for this episode is a wool farm, because over there the bridge past the resin farm is... Let me just sleep a bit. I want to add a wool farm at the end there. That will be a thing that I'm planning on doing this episode. And then I want to take a break from all the farm making and all the building and building preparation. And I also want to, get one more item, or maybe two more items. And the main item that I'm after right now has to do with these. Because I have 3 favorite music discs in Minecraft. The first one being Creator and the second Precipice. I really like the 2 music discs. But there's a third music disc that I really like and I really want to have in this season. And that one is Otherside. So if you know about the game, Otherside can spawn in dungeon rooms, or it can spawn in ancient cities. And that's where I have my problem, because the best rates are in ancient cities. And yeah, I think I have to find an ancient city. Actually, there is a second reason why I would find it in an ancient city and not try to get it in a dungeon room, because I'm sneaking really slowly and I really want to get the swift sneak also. So I'm set out to get my ancient city, and if I can, I want to see if I can find an ancient city. So I'll get some shulker boxes, I'll get some flight rockets, and I'll see what I can do. Maybe I should go over and also get some experience bottles, just to be sure. Here in my trading hall, I think these ones here should all be on the cheaper side. Oh, they are just experts. Ah, there's one master. And there's another master. This one isn't... These ones aren't recured. Okay. But I think with that I should be able to repair my elytra in case I'm flying for too long. That's good. Normally I have that in my toolbox, but I don't have that many bottles in my toolbox right now. Also, yeah, this is my toolbox, where I normally store all the stuff that I could need while I'm traveling. All the different kinds of tools, also a crafting table and a stone cutter and an ender chest. All the stuff that would normally make my inventory being completely cluttered. And I normally store it in a blue shulker box, and I've also kept this tradition here on the server. But enough for the talk right now. I'll head in north, maybe northwestern direction, and see if I can find some mountains and if I can spot an ancient city, or maybe a deep dark at least, under it. So let's get going. Well, the second chest, everyone. I got the other side disc from the second chest in the city. So, since I had quite some trouble seeing the stuff here myself, I allowed myself to install the Fulbright texture pack, just so that I have a better overview here. No Shrieker in this corner, very good. I already got my music disc that I wanted, but I really like to have some more stuff, especially a Swift Sneak book. Protection, nice one. That's 13. That's another other side disc. Wow. That one might be problematic. Doesn't look like there's more than one. Okay, I'm out. So there we have it, the other side music disc that is also playing. I don't know how that is working, if both of my music discs are in my inventory and you still hear the music. Well, just some magic here. And yeah, the next course of action for me would be removing this safety hazard here by, yeah, not making this hall have a platform up here. So I actually want to dig out the whole hall there. But before I can do that, well, I could do it right now, but it would make another step a little bit more complicated, because I also don't really like the plain stone ceiling with the little bit touch of diorite here. So I actually dug out the ceiling one block higher than I needed, or I originally planned, so that I can just place another block on the ceiling, and that block would be smooth basalt. Maybe at some point with a bit of shroomlight, I don't know, but mainly smooth basalt for the ceiling. And yeah, I still need the smooth basalt to produce it, and I now have the fuel to smelt some basalt, so I can just collect the basalt, smelt it. However, that will take some time until I have all the basalt that I need here. So I'll see you later when I have all the materials gathered and I can start making the ceiling and then dig down the hall. So see you later. So there we have it. The ceiling up there is done. I have the smooth basalt in there. I also have some passive lighting added for the kelp farm. And originally I wanted to make a short update when the ceiling was finished. However, I was so in the flow of digging the stuff out that I just started it, and it felt like 5 minutes later I was already finished. It was maybe like 1.5 hours that I took in total of digging this down. And yeah, so I now have the whole space here to add some more farms in. I have a rough idea on what I want to do. However, I'm not really sure about how I want to put the layouts here or which farms I want to put where. So I have to plan that a little bit better. Also, by the way, I have a new mod installed for my client, the continuity mod that makes the seams in between the glass blocks disappear so that the glass panes here are just one smooth surface, and it looks so much better in my opinion. But yeah, I soon have to make the farms in here. But for now, I am recording this on a Sunday evening, and normally on Mondays I'm having my weekly live streams from the server after I finish work. So this is most likely the last session before I hop into another live stream, and I just want to give you guys a update on what I want to make during this live stream. Let me just sleep here really quick. And you just heard the sheep up there, and that's a good hint because I actually want to make this bridge further out and put a sheep farm over there. So I want to make a small building there containing a sheep farm. Depending on how the layout for the sheep farm is, I might have some free space beneath it to put maybe another farm in. Something really small that doesn't need much space. I'm thinking about maybe doing a netherwort farm so that I just put a small netherwort farm under it just in case that I want to work with red nether bricks. I don't know yet if I want to, but it might be a good idea to have it there, because I don't really need that much space for it, and so I don't need to put an extra space into my farm pit over there. So yeah, the sheep farm is one of the things I want to make in the live stream, and in case that I have more time, I want to start making some decorations for the hall here. I want to make the proper walls for the kelp farm here. I still have the stone walls up. I might change that out for some spruce and pale oak combination. And I also want to make a bridge over there. And I'm not sure about the materials, but I'm really intrigued about making maybe copper grates for the floor of the bridge, so that we have like a hanging bridge, and I still need to think about what the support structure would be. But I think it would be a nice thing to have like a copper grate bridge there. And yeah, so that's the plan on what I want to do during the live stream. Maybe some more decorations. I'm not really sure about that. Depends on how much time I have, how fast I am doing my stuff tomorrow. So yeah, see you later when I have everything from my live stream finished, and then I will give you another update. So now is the next day after the live stream where I've built the sheep farm behind me, and you might notice the red thing below the sheep farm that wasn't in the recording for the time lapse. That is a netherwort farm. I did put a netherwort farm down there, and there did some other minor things happen after the live stream. So for once, I apparently left the gate open of my sheep farm here. So after bringing all the sheep down to the sheep farm, the remaining sheep here, apparently they all ran away. And I've used the space that got free here to make my wheat farm a bit bigger. That is one thing that has happened. And also, during the live stream, we killed so many drowned that we had enough Nautilus shells for a conduit that is now under my bridge here. So that's a good thing. And can I sleep here? Yes, I can. Nice. And then there is one more thing that we have to discuss. Because after some building, I now feel like having a bit of action, having some fighting. And yeah, as you can see, we have the ceiling finished, we have the sides of the farm finished. I have a bridge here that I want to make some support with bamboo blocks. And I want also to let it oxidize a bit. That is happening right now. I have to wait for that. However, as I said, I want a bit more action. And yeah, so one thing happened after the live stream yesterday. So I was planning a bit on where I want to put my farms within the pit here, which farm I want to put where. And I was thinking about the furnace array that I want to make. And since I want to have it near the output for the kelp farm, I thought about making it into the wall here so that I dig the wall in a little bit and build a furnace array there. And I wasn't really sure about it because behind this wall I know there is the sugarcane farm, and I was pretty sure that the sugarcane farm doesn't reach as far down as the pit here, so I might have some clearance. And I was checking how much clearance I have, so I said to myself that I don't really want to use free cam or something like that. I can't use spectator mode obviously because I can't change it in there. However, I'm normally fine using a free cam like functionality to check these kind of things where I can, where I can see if I have enough clearance to put something into a wall, if I have enough room for that. And so I opened my flashback recording from the live stream yesterday, and I quickly checked how much space I have in here. And that's where I saw something that I shouldn't have seen here. Because what I did see was that if I build a staircase down here, 45 degrees all the way down, I get the staircase just about past the trial chamber. There's a trial chamber a bit more to the left, maybe starting like here. I can't dig down the staircase here, so if I make the staircase here somewhere, I will pretty much hit a trial chamber. And I was debating it a bit because on the one hand it's really tempting to have a trial chamber, especially with the breeze spawners, since I'm selling wind charges and everything in the shopping district. However, on the other hand, I shouldn't be knowing of this trial chamber, so I was arguing with myself, should I use this information, shouldn't I use it? I discussed it with the fellow nerds that were online at the same time, and they were like, well, just take it. It's okay, it's totally fine. We also sometimes use free cam like tools to check for something. And so they were totally fine with me digging down there. And as I said, I want to have a bit action, and I think that's why I will not only dig down there at any time, I think I will do it right now and see if I can find some wind charge farms, well, some breeze spawners to be precise, if I can find some loot in the trial chamber, what kind of trial chamber awaits me there, and I will now see what we have there. So let's go. There shouldn't be any mobs. Oh, that's... Wow. That's crazy. I just wanted to say there shouldn't be any mobs spawning inside a trial chamber besides the trial spawners. What the heck is going on? I'm so glad I decided to take this trial chamber. Wow. This is crazy. Loyalty 3. Some of that. I can use that. I can leave the name tag here. Wow, that's crazy. That is just crazy. Let me take a screenshot here. And since the trial chamber run is now over, I most likely can go for the bamboo farm next, because I really need the bamboo now. So I think it would be the best idea to just finally... I don't know if I make all 4 of the alleys here. Maybe I will only make 2 alleys for the bamboo farm and see if that's enough. It might actually be enough. Bamboo is 3 times as fast as sugarcane, and the sugarcane is already overwhelming me. So I think I will build the bamboo farm next. So I'll cue another time lapse and build up the bamboo farm. So now the bamboo farm is finished, and I've already AFK'd it. Well, not really AFK'd it, I did prepare something for the current segment here. And that took about maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and we already have, as you can see, over 9 stacks of bamboo, and also we have 1.5 stacks of bamboo blocks. I do have an auto crafter up here. You see that there's a crafter constantly ticking. This is being fed by 2 bubble elevators. You see here's 1 bubble elevator and there's another one. That one is for the sugarcane, but behind that one is another bubble elevator giving us the right half of the bamboo farm. That one, the right half, is feeding directly into the crafter. The left half that you see here is first filling the bamboo items, the chests, and then if that one overflows it will also feed into the bamboo blocks. So yeah, as you hear, there is a slight inconvenience with some iron trapdoors that we currently have. Maybe I'll fix this, maybe I'll leave this. To be honest, it was quite hard fitting this in because As you can see, the wall is not that thick here, and also having it fit in together with the collection system for the sugarcane farm into one big thing here. It wasn't quite easy. I'm glad that I managed to fit it in, so I don't know how much space I have to maybe switch something around so that the trapdoors aren't going off. I don't think that I have that comfort here, so maybe I have to leave it that way. But yeah, that's about it. And now it is time to do something with my equipment here, because I was a bit active in the Nether off stream, and I've actually managed to get some debris, or now some scrap, and also some gold. So let me just quickly craft up some netherite ingots, and I think then we can see if we want to make ourselves a netherite armor. And also some netherite tools, of course. So let me just drop down my toolbox here. And I've already prepared here some netherite upgrades. As you can see, oh, I think it should be 9 and not 7 netherrack. Let me just quickly get the netherrack here. So that way we can copy. Oh no, I think it should be 8 normally. Because I have to copy the copper block, the bolt armor trim, I have to copy that one time. The other, the coast and the flow armor trim, I have these. And I also have some resin blocks here. So let me just copy the netherite upgrade. I think it was like this, maybe? Yeah. 4. And let's go. Now we have 9 of it. And then we have the bolt armor trim. So let's see, we need these ones, the helmet. That one is netherite now. Then we will need the leggings and the boots. Also the sword. My pickaxe. And then we have, I quickly have to put one away, so that I don't get too much. And I wanted to do the silk touch shovel, the axe, and also my fortune pickaxe. These were the 3 that I still wanted to make. That's the pickaxe, that's the shovel, and that's it. We have 2 more netherite ingots left. It would be enough to make one of the hoes and also the second shovel, but I'm not yet planning on doing it. Okay, so let me just see. I wanted to make resin on it, and the question is, which one was it? I think I wanted to have the coast armor trim on the helmet. Then I think it was the bolt armor trim on the leggings. Yep, that looks right. And on the boots we would have... that's actually... That one was actually the wrong way, but I think we can run it like that for now. Yep. I guess we can do it like this. And yeah, that's the new armor for me. And also my new tools. And now I can... Yeah, I have a bit more durability on everything. I have a bit more protection. And that's about that one. I wanted to do this for quite some time now, but I never had the netherite for it. And a couple of days ago I just went like, yeah, let's just go for it. And yeah, that's about it. And I think the next project would be down there at the cave entrance. Well, not really cave entrance, at the entrance to the trial chamber. Because the trial chamber is cleared, but I still want to make some breeze farms in there. So I want to convert the breeze spawners down there into proper tiny farms. And I think that's what we will do next. So let me just gather some materials and then I'll head down. So I mentioned before that I made the trims in the wrong order. And I've said that this doesn't really bother me, but actually it did bother me a bit while I was doing my preparation for the trial chamber. And as you can see, now we have the correct trims. I've switched them around, the trims for the pants and for the boots. They are now switched around, so we have now bolt on the boots and flow on the leggings. So that's about that one, and now I have all the stuff, hopefully, that I need for the trial chamber preparation. Okay. So really quick. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Composter here. By the way, this design for a tiny farm also is not my own design. It's a design by a channel that, out of my mind, I don't really remember the channel name right now. I will see in post-production if I can look it up again. And if I find the channel, I'll of course link it in the video description, so that you guys also can see the original tutorial that I followed for making these tiny farms. And that should be it, I guess. So I think we can properly test them. Oh, I know what I forgot. Okay. Okay. Before I activate the other farms, I need one more thing. I need 4 redstone torches. This one. And let's get back down. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that's more like it. And yeah, that's the preparation that needed to be done for the trial chamber. Now I can, whenever I want, I can go down. I can do a round, then pop an ominous bottle, do another round right away. And this way I can get all the keys, I can get a ton of breeze rods, and it's very conveniently directly under my under my own base. That's really, really nice. So, to be honest, I did record way too much footage for this episode, so I'll show you the last two builds with just the time-lapse and a bit of commentary from post-production. The first one is a simple furnace array with 12 furnaces and a shulker system. Both the unloader on top and the loader on the bottom being from Kale's YouTube channel. Link is always in the description. The second build is a moss farm that I added to the bottom floor of my farm pit. This one was built now due to a decision that I made regarding my live streams. You see, I noticed that I recorded far too much material for the episodes, and also always mentioned the live streams and showed the time lapses of what was going on during those streams. From now on, I wanted to separate the stream content from the video content, by also separating the areas in which I built. Basically, the area atop of the cliffs will be worked on solely during the live streams. That being said, if I need to do something in the other areas that supports the livestream area, it will be built as part of the video content. And first of all, I needed a ton of moss for the upper cliffside, so that's why I built a moss farm a bit earlier than originally planned. So this is it. The moss farm is finished behind me, and I've also taken care, as you might have seen in the time lapse, I have taken care of quite a disaster that has struck while building it. You see, here is only stone for now and no more pale oak planks and stripped spruce logs. Well, why did they vanish? Well, I have lava here, and I kind of forgot that the server here is playing with fire tick on. I'm normally used to playing without fire ticks, so basically the lava was burning up a whole lot of the blocks here in the back, and then was water leaking out from the kelp farm, and that also did destroy some of the redstone over there. It was a complete mess, and to be honest, I also was raging a bit here during the build. It wasn't really nice for me. Yeah, other than that, you see that up there we have the bridge is now supported by bamboo and some pillars where it's hanging from, and we also have some wool over there and over here. Basically, this is part of the Vanilla Tweaks data pack, where it is possible, if you place wool blocks above each other and put ender pearls over them, if you just drop ender pearls on them, then they will like get these enderman particles here. And if you then jump on the lower block or crouch on the higher block, you can teleport between the wool blocks. That's a really nice feature, and I did struggle to get a proper staircase in, and I was like, yeah, if we have the feature here, we can also use this one here. It's really nice and really convenient. The moss farm here that is finished is actually also not my design. It is from Raceworks. They have a really good block by block building tutorial on their YouTube channel. I will link that one in the description. Just keep in mind, the farm is tileable, so it can be expanded in one direction, and that's what I totally did, because in Raceworks video the tutorial is just for half of the size of this farm, so only 2 of these composters, and the other one I did add myself just to increase the output rates a bit more, so that I get more moss out and I don't have to constantly keep the farm running, because it wouldn't run constantly anyways. We have a quite low render distance on the server, and that's why I can't really keep the farm running constantly. Yes, with that being said, I also took out some moss already, so I think I'm quite well equipped for the next live stream. And with that, I think I can wrap it up for this episode. It's already been long enough because I originally planned to make like 30-minute long episodes, and the last one was already way over that, and this one most likely is as well. Yeah, so I think that's about it. And I would say thank you for watching, everyone, and if you want, you can always leave a like. I would really appreciate it, as well as I would appreciate if you subscribed to my channel. With that being said, thank you again, and see you hopefully in the next episode. Bye for now.